What's up, humans, and welcome to a new Psicoactivo. Happy Monday, everybody. Okay, so we got new, really bold claims from Ross Coulthart, and something that I already kind of felt like it was going to happen was that whenever Ross makes claims like these, really out there claims, there's always a reaction that happens from people who want for like all the information laid out, not just the tease. And Ross has done it again. He did it already with the too big to move UFO, and he's on record saying that he regrets doing that. But he made another one yesterday. It happened during his Q&A with Megan Medic for News Nation, and he made a really bold claim about portals. And before I show you the clip, I do want to talk to you about a little something that I've been wanting to just ask about because there are claims of portals from different people throughout the world, not just in the US. In Canada, we have UFO researcher Grant Cameron. He has a book about portals in Mount Shasta. He's been talking about portals for decades now. And this is a lore within like the paranormal UFO lore that whenever anybody talks about it, they're regarded instantly as quacks and loons. And the reality is that portals have been discussed for a long time. So there's this clip from George Knapp talking about portals on the Skinwalker Ranch show. We also have George Knapp talking about portals on the Skinwalker Ranch show. There's a really famous clip that I'm going to leave in the description in case this one has a copyright infringement issue. But there's also the scientist who used to work with people at CERN who spoke to Jimmy from UAP Files. And she talked about portals too from the CERN facility, how an entity came through a portal and stole a scarf, allegedly. We have that too.
There's a door, open, a round door, like in the Stargate. And I don't know if it's as big. Yeah, there is one picture that the person is quite small, actually, on it. You can go and look for those interested. Go and type CERN portal LHC door, and you will see. So in front of the door, they have a room. They probably have many doors, but they have a room, and they sit around the table. And I said, so yeah, what happened? He said, well, an entity came from this portal, and like
What?
it sat at the table. I was like, but how is this what do you mean entity? Is it a person? Is it an alien? What color are they, like us? And they couldn't answer anything. They said, no, it's not. We know, we just know it at CERN, and they cannot describe it, but they have it secondhand. It's not third, fourth. It's a very good friend who knows.
That's very.
Okay, I have to find something more because that's not enough. I mean,
even she knows it's not enough. She is a scientist,
I said, can you have proof? And is there a proof that they bring, that they give something? There's some document, and they said that this entity the second time took a scarf and left a scarf. I said, what type of scarf? And they don't know. They're not into the detail. They were really into the event and not the detail. And this entity left again. So that's the short scoop that started me trying to look for that. And
something that is like not talked about really because of the stigma that exists is that there are places around the world. It's not just Skinwalker Ranch, Mount Shasta, the one that Ross is about to tell you about. There's also places in Mexico. For example, there's a place here in Mexico in the north called the Zone of Silence. And it's a really weird place. It's a place where there's vegetation that grows there that doesn't grow anywhere else in the world. Types of flowers, type of grass, really strange. And there seems to be a really strong electromagnetic interference going on at the Zone of Silence in Mexico. And around the world, there are many places like that. So presumably what Ross is about to tell you about has to do with one of these places where there's a lot of really weird activity that sometimes is recorded and sometimes it isn't. So let me show you the clip from Ross.
Thing I want to throw out here, and I want to cause a bit of mischief with the US government. I've just been somewhere in the United States. Just one thing I want to throw out here, and I want to cause a bit of mischief with the US government. I've just been somewhere in the United States where I know there is another portal. And I know the United States knows about it. And I was there just the other day. And guess what? It's got a big fence around it, lots of security signs. It's supposedly US Forest Service. But you know what? It's not. And it's supposedly ancient ruins of tribal art. And you know what? It's not. What's happening is that the United States is using the US Forest Service and claims of the protection of archaeological relics to keep secret from the public a portal on US soil. There, Megan.
Yeah, Ross did say that. So now, naturally, he's going to get bombarded with all types of questions and even harassment to a point where people are going to turn into this little meme right here. Where's the portal, Ross? Where's the portal? You know, that's how everybody got with the too big to move UFO story. And they even threatened Ross, which is fucking wild, fucking crazy, dude. Chill out. It's just claims. Like, whether they're real or not, you got to chill out with this shit. And I can already see a lot of people behaving this way, you know? But the reality is that even though Ross did mention that about the too big to move UFO, just last month, Representative Eric Burleson confirmed that there is indeed something like that that he's looking into. So maybe the claim is not that crazy. Maybe eventually somebody from the government will come out and say the same thing, that there is something to that. I don't know. It's possible. But man, just understand these claims that Ross is making. I get it that they come across as really wild and unreal, really. But look at the state of the world and look at how everything is progressing right now. It's definitely getting a lot weirder than anybody imagined. Just five years ago, I wasn't like fully convinced of anything, really. Like, let's say 6 years ago. And when I saw Commander Fravor talking to Joe Rogan about that encounter with the Tic Tac, that's when I was like, wait, so what's going on? And that made me reevaluate a lot of aspects of my own life that I've experienced since I was a teenager. Many of those things I dismissed as probably not real, probably I was hallucinating. And then another type of reality comes and hits me right in the ass. So whenever I hear claims like these, I just got to wait a little bit and see if somebody else corroborates it, you know? But on that vein, I also want to show you something that Ross also wrote that is also pretty major, I think. And I'm going to make it part of this video as well. It's this post right here. It's a little long, but I got to read it to you guys because this has to do with all the alleged classified videos of UFOs that Arrow is not even going to do a tiny little effort to put out. And there are a lot of trained observers from the military or the intelligence community have already allegedly seen, and they're describing them. And Ross decided to come out to describe these videos, and they're really wild. If they are real and they're not shown, that would be really unfortunate. And I already have a couple of confirmations in this same post from people who I think are trustworthy, who claim to have seen these videos. And these people obviously have a clearance, so that's why they saw these videos. They're not for the public to consume yet because they're not unclassified. So let me read to you this. From a well-informed source who has seen the UAP videos still being withheld by the Department of War, accessible on its highly classified SIPR net servers. Quote, Among many others, we have videos of the following. I have personally seen this one on SIPR, a video from 6 years ago from the Persian Gulf, full color, daytime, of a white orb with plasma aura around it flying out of the water near a tanker. Pilot then goes white hot and black hot with no joy on identification attempt. Then the orb flies out, and roughly halfway through the 13-minute video, another white orb flies into the area as the pilot diverted to track the first one. And the second one hangs out for a while before zipping off again. The video then ends after a few more minutes of the helo pilot tracking the first orb. I have not seen these, but they have been described to me by someone now public who was in the UAP task force. One, a video of a black disc 3 times the size of an oil platform that was captured speeding underwater near a platform in the Gulf of Mexico. Number 2, a video of a B-52 in which a disc approaches, slows down to keep pace, then zips off at the end, all the while with NHI looking out of the windows, force fields, whatever they call windows. Number 3, this one was described to me by a source at ODNI, an orb playing cat and mouse with a Reaper drone at 30,000 feet or so up. It forces it to go evasive, then keeps pace with it, zips around it on the right wing, then zips off. All of this was 4K or better, as told to me by my source, who is extremely well cleared and someone who I trust implicitly, end quote. And now Ross says, I've spoken to multiple TSSCI cleared insiders who have described many similar, irrefutably anomalous videos and imagery still being withheld by the Pentagon. I'm told it's extremely unlikely this imagery will be formally released by Arrow, and that the public is being misled in a clear strategy of disinformation. Whether the Secretary of War and POTUS are aware of this deception is unclear. Let's hope they don't allow themselves to, or the public, to be so deceived. And then Science Bob McGuire says, I have personally seen number 2. Lots of people were shown it. What? So one question here. If lots of people were shown it, do these people have clearances? I wonder, because if they didn't and they were shown this video, why isn't the rest of the world being shown the same video? So, as I told you, a bunch of really big claims from Ross that the one about the videos has been corroborated by at least 2 sources that I have that I trust. So those videos seem to be out there. And what do you think about the portals? Do you think they're real? Do you think they're not? Let me know in the comments. I'll be reading everything. Before I continue, I just want to let you know that if you like the content you see, I'm going to ask you to please like, share, hype, comment, subscribe, and hit the bell icon. That's all you need to do in order to help us, really, but it is what helps us the most. However, if you want to help out the channel in other ways, we have links down there you can choose from. You can become a member on YouTube or on Patreon. If you want merch and no ads, I think Patreon is the way. This is the only ad you get on Patreon. You can also choose to give us a review on Spotify, because we were just accepted to the partner program and we can really use your help to keep growing. You can also go to the main channel if you're new. And I got about 850 episodes that you can go through. I would really appreciate doing any of those things. Whatever you choose to do is always appreciated, so thank you. And that's it for me today on this video, but I'll see you guys in the next one. Remember, stay curious and inquisitive like Ross Coulthart. Always. Bye.